Welcome to On Air with Kash. Our guest today was voted one of the top 10 comedians in New York City by The Hollywood Reporter. He's been featured on HBO, CBS, NBC, ABC, Comedy Central, Howard Stern, and E! Entertainment. He's received rave reviews in the New York Times, Time Out New York, Variety, and the New York Post. I had the pleasure of watching him perform live at the Saban Theater recently. He's the host of the podcast, and here's Modi. Please welcome Modi.
How are you? Good to be here, Kash.
Oh, Modi, it's such a pleasure to have you on the show. I caught your show with Howie Mandel, Jeffrey Ross, Michael Rappaport at the Saban Theater. And from the second you got on, I mean, you dominated that stage. It was like a real pleasure watching you perform live, and then been able to see a lot of your videos and watching your podcast. I mean, your career's been on a roll.
Thank you. It's funny because that show you saw was a week before I was at that same place. On my own. I did my own show at the Saban. So you caught that, what was called the roast of anti-Semitism, right?
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, they brought me back for that, and it was a lot of fun. It was fun backstage, fun on stage. It was a good energy there.
That it was. I know you could feel it. It just, I mean, even in the room, it was just like a party everyone wanted to be a part of. And
yeah.
You know, you had a Michael Rappaport, who was also a comedian that evening. He was recently on your podcast. This is, I'm quoting him. He said that your comedy went from really good to like extra special. And I mean, when you watch the way that you take over a stage, and you know, the way that I watch how you articulate, it's just phenomenal to watch you in action, my friend.
Well, thank you very much. I don't know what to do with all these compliments you're throwing at me, but I appreciate them all very, very much.
It was actually funny because when you were searching for Spielberg, I found this online, and you went over to WME with the script. You were right when the agents walk out the office I was working in was right on the other end. So I think I kind of caught a glimpse, if my memory serves correct. So I feel like some parallels. Yeah.
No, when you see a Hasidic guy standing in the middle of Beverly Hills, it's very eye-catching.
Yeah. I did some, even while working at WME, I was doing some stuff for Funny or Die. So I use that same street to film.
Oh, for Funny or Die. Whatever happened to Funny or Die?
It was a Tinder dating comedy I did a few years back. It was called As in Kevin. I play like the Tinder swiping sleaze guy at work. And I'm like, you know, I'm at work kind of acting like Ace Ventura and like trying to hit on girls. And then I'm Tindering while I'm on the date. And then
that's hysterical.
Oh, it was great. And then it was like The Hangover, where my character, he like wakes up in Beverly Hills, and he had to put together what he did the next day. So I'm kind of running up and down. I find out this girl scammed me. So and you maxed out my credit card. So we were running around in those same locations that you were.
Wow. Okay. So that's when you saw that. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you doing with this actors strike and the writers strike and all that?
I worked on a pilot about a month ago. And then, interestingly enough, I shot a movie about AI in June. And then the strike happened. It needs to happen. And residuals started in 1960 when Reagan was president of the Screen Actors Guild.
Right.
And, you know, Netflix, as you know, has been dominating for, you know, the last 10 years. And that was a whole other medium that people weren't ready for. The writers and actors, they're not making the kind of money they did like the Friends Seinfeld era.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I wish everybody the best with that. It's heart-wrenching to see it. The whole AI thing is pretty scary.
And I don't know if you watched Black Mirror, but how scary was the Joan is Awful? Have you seen that yet?
No, I haven't seen that. What's Black Mirror?
Okay, Black Mirror, it's a British anthology series. It's like The Twilight Zone. Every episode's a little different, and they take on a relative theme, and they show it. Usually takes place in the not too distant future. And so this specific one, it's Selma Hayek's in it. It's called Joan is Awful. So it's about this woman named Joan, and she works for a company similar to Netflix, Streamberry.
Okay.
And so basically she has a day, and then she turns on the Streamberry, and she sees someone who looks just like her, has her name. And
oh, wow.
She turns it on and sees exactly.
Wow.
So it's so surreal that all of this was happening leading up to this strike, even just doing this movie prior to what's happening. And then, you know, because another big thing too, there are extras who, I don't want to like throw names or whatever, but, you know, certain executives want to, productions, they want to hire an extra, use them for a day, and then they have rights to their image. Or whatever movie they can put them in.
Right. It's insane. I don't have all the particulars, but from what I'm reading and what I'm getting, it's really crazy.
Oh, it is. I mean, there's so many factors, and I commend, you know, a lot. I know the cast of Oppenheimer. I mean, they attended their premiere, and then once they were alerted about the strike, they walked out in solidarity. So I think everyone's, you know, I have a lot of friends and writers who are really affected, you know, who depend on that.
Yeah.
we're in a place too where, you can't, because of what I was describing about the residuals, people are taking 3 jobs just to, be able to pay their fees, and you don't qualify for health insurance unless you're making at least 26K a year.
Right. I know comics that got on a show when we were shooting Crashing with
Yeah.
HBO. Some comics began to make enough money to be able to get the insurance from SAG, and they were like thrilled. They were like, great. And I wish everybody the best of luck. Wow. This is when you can really be thankful that you're a comedian. Your
Oh,
material is your own. I really wish everybody the best of luck with it.
absolutely. No, I'm right there with you. I wish everyone the best. I got some friends out there picketing at the studios, and I think that we're going to hopefully reach a resolution soon. Getting back to you, you've really established yourself. I mean, you've all the top networks. You've mentioned Crashing, and you have a European tour coming up, and you also have a show.
Yeah, we have the Chosen Comedy Festival, which is our second year doing it. We did it last year at the Coney Island Amphitheater. We had over 4,250 people. It was absolutely insane and amazing. It was every age, every religion, every type of person there. The food was amazing. Had great food trucks, and there was like a day of just great comedy and music. We had music apart. This year, the focus is only comedy. We also did the festival in LA and in Miami, and it was a big hit and sold out there as well. And now we're back to the amphitheater here in New York. Now we know so much better on how to run a festival. And by say me, Danny Zolden, our partner, and Elon Gold also, their team is amazing. And we have Jessica Kirsten on. We have Jeff Ross will be on again. Rich Voss, which is one of my favorite comedians, and a whole lineup of great comics. And it's always going to be an amazing night. Any listeners you have that are in the New York area, you should definitely go to get tickets to the Chosen Comedy Festival. They can do it through my website at modilive.com. Yeah, and I'm always excited about this festival.
Oh, that's amazing. I know there's actually been a festival here in LA that I've been a part of as well. That Tinder dating comedy I told you about. We got selected one year, and then I got a Best Actor award. And so they kept inviting our team back, and we were always giving them new content. So it was a really good way to like showcase a lot of different talent that I believed in, and some up and coming musicians and artists, even comics. Growing up in LA, I was always around music and movies, and I got into comedy. I was working on a pilot with Jimmy Shin. He headlines over at the Comedy Store. He works. Whitney Cummings has done his show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to a live taping of his show and just gave me such a respect for stand-up. I'd go to the shows and like Rogan would pop in, Whitney would pop in, Bob Saget popped in one night. And, I know like you growing up in New York, you had one career path and then you decided to get into comedy. It's come so naturally to you.
I've been doing comedy more than half of my life. So 30 years in April, this upcoming April will be 30 years. That's a good lineup you see over there. I'm on the New York side here where I'm at the Comedy Cellar a lot more, and all the comedians pop in there. Louis C.K., Seinfeld, Chris Rock, they're always popping in, working out their material and spots, and it's always such a pleasure to be on stage with them.
Exactly. And you mentioned Crashing too, and Pete was trying to get a spot at the Comedy Cellar. It's a very tough be a part of and to be a headliner. You could just turn on one of your YouTube clips and go to your channel you have, and whatever the title is in. I mean, you can put a brilliant bit into like less than a minute. Your other bit that I love too about connecting with someone, I should say, is just knowing their sign. And I know there's 12 signs. You only know
Yeah.
I only know one. I'm a Libra, and I can usually sense a Libra, so it's kind of it's a hit or miss with me. But I've been pretty good about getting the Libra.
Yeah, the sign thing is a big. I'm working on for the next special. I'm working on a whole bit about the astrology stuff. People love it. I know people love that stuff, and it's relatable and it's real and it's nonsense. So but you can have fun with it. I love that stuff. Yeah, that's an old bit. It's an old premise, but now I'm going to make it into a bigger bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm working on new material. I just shot a special last April, and last April is a few months ago. Now it's time to work on the new hour.
The one that you filmed in April, when can we see that?
We are in the third rounds of editing. You need to go through a little editing before you release a special. So we're at that point right now, but it's going well. We did it with 800-pound gorilla, and it's going to be the visuals from what I'm seeing so far. And I haven't even seen the edited with the colors and sound. It's looking good. Actually, it's an hour and 10 minutes. I have to find something to cut out of there.
Do you know what platform it's going to be on?
Not as of yet. People are putting it on YouTube. People are putting it on YouTube is good too, especially when you have followers. You're literally tapping into your market. So I'll see. It might go there.
Okay, well, I'm pumped.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to mention about your comedy was when I experienced you live at the Saban, and then from your bits, you can take something, but you have a way of connecting and bringing everyone together. I mean, even I was watching this, the roast that you did at the Commentary Magazine's annual roast at the Plaza a few years ago, and everyone in the room's laughing. You had a few things at Ben Shapiro, and that was the funniest roast. And I saw they kept flashing to Ben, and he was laughing his ass off
He was
throughout.
laughing too.
Oh
People
yeah.
think that he and I don't get along. And not that we sit and have meals together, but we have no problem with each other. It was a roast, and people think, "Oh my God, he's really coming for him." And it was just a roast, and it was just fun. And he was very sweet,
Oh,
very,
exactly.
very sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've heard that about him.
I think his persona is all on his podcast, the crazy stuff, but in real life, he's just, that's his angle. That's
Exactly.
his angle. My angle, try to be nice. Is try to be nuts. But he was very nice. He was a very sweet guy when I
That
met
no,
him.
I love hearing that too. And I mean, just the point with that was it's just, you can look at people who may, maybe see the world differently, have different views about things, but that you have a way of, not even like with your comedy and doing a roast, it's like I could tell the mutual appreciation. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, we're just having fun here. So I like the way that you have a way of connecting people and letting people really see your observations, and everyone looks at you and says, oh man, he's onto something.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very sweet of you.
Definitely. When are you shooting? You said the second stand-up that you're doing after the one.
Now we're working on that. Now it's just
Okay.
now you start to hone it. You go on the road, you work it out. I'm going to be in Europe for a while.
Yes.
We're doing shows in Frankfurt, Berlin. We have sold out shows in Paris, which is really amazing. And then I'm going there after a week of touring in Israel. So going to be on the road for a while, and then 2024 is going to be even busier. Someone wrote the other day that Modi's a Hebrew word for sold out. I can never get tickets for his shows. So just whoever's listening, when you see a ticket in your area, just get them.
Love it. And so you said European tour. You were born in Israel. Have you toured there or performed there live?
Yeah, a few times. Did about 3 or 4 tours there, and it's always gotten better and better. And I love being there. And right now, the whole world is just such a when you open the news, it looks like it's such a mess. Israel's going through some stuff, and France is going through some stuff, and everybody's shaking it up a little bit. So hopefully, it'll be settling down by the time I get there.
Yeah. Well, I think you're the comic who can shake things up and unify us and bring it together. God knows we need comedy more than ever.
Amen. That's amazing. That's a very nice thing to say. Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Modi. And you got your European tour. You also have another show on December 21st this year at the Town Hall.
It's my biggest show of the year in New York. I think it's 2,000 seats or something like that. It's in the theater district. It's like a Broadway show type of a location. It's called The Town Hall, December 21st. There's a few tickets available. They're sold out. And this is like over 6 months in advance. The tickets went on sale in March, and we've already like sold out almost more than half. But there's some tickets available.
Amazing. No, you can find those in his website. Modi, your career is on a roll. It's only going to get higher from here. We so appreciate you being on our show, giving to my audience. Is there anything that you want to shout out to your fans or anything else that you want to share with us?
Thank you very much. ModiLive.com, be a part of it. And that's it. Just keep laughing. Just be the friend that brings the friends to the comedy show. That's my biggest. If you see a comedy show somewhere in your area, buy some tickets, invite some friends, bring some laughter into the group. That will bring some fun energy into the world.
Couldn't have said that better. Modi, love your vibe, love your comedy. Next time you're in LA, I am so there, front row. I'm gonna have another
You
laugh.
got it.
And you keep rocking and rolling, my friend.
Thank you so much, Kash.
Thank you.